Namasri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharini. So, Adhyaksha Maharaj is busy there with the valedictory function of this 3-day residential camp. So I'm a stopgap arrangement. So Maharaj asked me to take the class. Then yesterday evening I was thinking what should I speak on. So I have chosen the subject God and Ghost in the Same House. I repeat the topic, God and Ghost in the same house. It may sound paradoxical to you. Yeah. You know, Swamiji has given a definition for human being. He says, human being is a curious mixture of devil, man and God. In some of my previous talks also, I mentioned this. Can we have a definition for human being? So today we are so focused on the external universe, we have forgotten ourselves. But today modern scientists are saying, physicists, your study of the universe will be totally incomplete without studying the observer. There are two things here. Observed. We all understand observed is this universe. We are observing the universe, we are interacting with the universe. Who is the observer? We are the observer. Who are we? What am I? That we have not figured out. That's the big problem. Our study of the observed would be incomplete without our factoring in the observer. In Sanskrit, the language used is drusya, drashta. You know, Vedanta says, not just the external universe. When they said that Prakriti, when they use the word Prakriti or nature, they meant the external universe, the physical body, the mind. They all are drusya, and the drashta is consciousness, God, soul, or Atman. That is our real nature. So that is drashta. The entire universe, including our physical body and mind, are drusya. But now we think that we have identified with the body and mind, and we think that this total personality is drashta and the external world is drusya. Not just the external world, body and mind are also a part of the drusya, they are not part of the drashta. And now what we have to do to know our true being, to get established in that true drashta state, we have to detach ourselves from the body and mind. Now we think that, okay, when you observe the body and study the body, with the help of mind we are doing it. When you know something about the mind, how do you know that? With the help of mind only you know the mind. There is no other option, right? Mind is the instrument that we have to know this physical body and also this external universe. And we think mind is the observer. Mind is the drashta. No, philosophers have said that mind cannot be drashta, just like this physical body and just like the external universe. It is also inanimate. It is consciousness which is the drashta. Mind is also an object, drusya, for consciousness. So now actually you have to become true drashta. Mind is not drashta. Mind is also drusya. So to go deep into our own being, we have to transcend this mind. And that is the struggle. That is the goal of all yoga. That is the goal of all philosophy. That is the goal of all religion. This wrong identification with the body, wrong identification with the mind should go. Then you get established. Then seer and seen. What happens when you really get to consciousness, the core of your own being? This distinction of drashta and drusya vanishes. Only one homogeneous consciousness remains. Then the question, why did God create this world, doesn't arise at all. There is only consciousness, there is only God, there is only homogeneous entity and nothing other, no two. That is Advaita. Advaita is not a philosophy, Advaita is not a word, Advaita is a state. When you are established in that state, you are establishing your true being. And that's actually the real state. It's a state of immortality, the real existence. So, to go deep into our own being is the real struggle, real challenge. You need to turn your attention inward, as the Upanishad says. Kaschid viraha pratyagatmanam aikshat avrutta amrutatvam. Right? Desiring immortality, kaschid viraha. One brave individual turns his attention inward. Even for doing that, you have to infer, you have to sense that true drashta is actually within me, it is far deep in me. It is not the mind that is drashta, there is something else, a higher entity, and that actually to know, I have to contemplate, I have to go deep into my own being, I have to transcend the mind. And to transcend the mind, you need to drop desire or ego sense, a little truncated, body-centered individuality, then you get to that stage. Sri Ramakrishna beautifully used to say that why we won't be able to turn inward that quickly, why that becomes so difficult to us. He gives the example of magic and magician. We are so fascinated by the magic that we forget magician. We are so identified with the magic, we are so enamored of the magic, so we have forgotten the magician. That means what? When you look at the creation and you should be reminded of the creator, then the question arises, who is the creator? How he has done that, right? How he has done that, and who is the creator, where is he? And then all these concepts are evolved, you know. First we came up with the concept of God is sitting in heaven, somewhere in the upper sphere, and from there actually he has done this whole universe. Then you apply a little more logic, then you come to the conclusion that since the physical universe being infinite, any being who is limited in time and space, sitting in a particular geography, okay, a particular area, and he cannot do the infinite universe. It's not possible, it's illogical. Okay? To create a universe which is infinite, the creator also must be infinite. A creator who is limited in time and space cannot create a universe, physical universe, which is also as limitless, which is also infinite. And then higher concepts are evolved that, God is everywhere. Fine, God is everywhere, but how I can know the all-pervading being? Because he is everywhere, he is within you also. So what is the best source? Then external universe everywhere he is there, but I don't see him. So you have to see him in yourself. And once you see him in yourself, you feel him everywhere in this universe. In every atom you will feel, in every atom you will experience thereafter. Why I should seek within me only? Why can't I see through an object? Yeah, Prahlada actually had known God through a pillar. He is everywhere there. If we have that kind of devotion, and God can manifest from any part of this universe, but our people, our rishis have said that the greatest manifestation of the Lord is this human heart. There are so many beings that God has created, inanimate and animate. everywhere actually the divine is there. In every particle, divine is there. But the easiest way to know him is your own heart. Because in the core of your heart, his manifestation is the highest. If you can't perceive him here, you can't really perceive him outside. So for that, actually, they suggested meditation, they suggested the self-surrender, they suggested the bhakti, Raja Yoga, all these yogas only to go to the core of our being. What is the source of this ego sense, which brings the mind into existence? This mind brings the whole universe into existence for me, and to let me fathom into my own mind, let me know what this mind is. So when you go deep into your own being and go to the core of your being, when you go to the root of the ego sense, it disappears, as Ramakrishna would say. As you keep peeling off the layer after layer, you remove the onion, ultimately nothing remains. Then you find that the ego sense is fictitious, it is unreal, okay? It is illusion, it is delusion, it is Maya. Once that disappears, everywhere it's same God, same homogeneous consciousness. That is the blessed experience we all need to get to really solve the problem of our existence. The existential issues are bothering people nowadays, definitely. Nature will compel you, nature will force you to seek the truth. No, I don't want the truth because everything is going smoothly and comfortably for me. It can't go for long because there is old age, there is death. These two are terrible limitations that nature has imposed. That means you have to seek the truth. Okay, this comfort cannot go on for long. So it is a kind of what you say, a birthright, and also as we have come here as human beings, we are cerebrally endowed with the capacity to know the truth, to explore the truth, and we have to make use of that capacity. Our philosophers, our rishis and sages have said this again and again. The Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, of course, he would say that once you come into this world as human being, once you have got this embodiment, this instrument means the primary objective of your being is to know the truth. All other objectives should become secondary objectives. What is the primary objective? To know the truth. How you explore the truth, how you will try to know the truth, what methods you employ, and from whom you take inspiration, from which sage you will take inspiration, from which scripture you will take inspiration, that is all left to you. That is all left to you. Explore it. But try to know who you really are. Try to know the truth. Who has created this universe? Who is the creator? How I am connected to this creator? These questions should agitate us. Now and then these questions come to us, but we won't be able to deepen the question because we are preoccupied with so many other things. Our mind is divided between so many things, as we are preoccupied with so many things of the world. That's why Tyage Naike Amrutva Manashahu, renunciation is stressed so much in this culture, where that will be a great aid for you to know the truth. Renunciation doesn't necessarily mean renunciation of all the external things. Renunciation at the level of the mind. Okay? Detachment. Totally detached from the things of the world. We have great examples in our culture like Janaka, the king of Mithila. He was sitting on the throne but absolutely unattached to the things of the world. Our great hero Rama, he was also a man of extraordinary renunciation. He was in the midst of the palace, but nothing would actually, make him get entangled, right? So that was the strength he had. That's why actually when he was asked to go to forest, it did not disturb him. He was totally detached from the things of the world. If he had any attachment for throne, for power, for position, for wealth, it would have been extremely difficult for him to go to the forest. He did not suffer that decision of Mother Kaikeyi to send him to forest because though he was living in the midst of the palace comforts, he had no attachment to the things. That's how you need to live in the world. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say, we all know this example, how you should live in the world. You should live in the world like a lotus leaf. Lotus leaf stays in the water, but the water doesn't stick to the lotus leaf. Right? Like that we have to be in samsara, but the samsara should not stick to us, absolutely unattached to anything of this universe, including this physical body. We don't know when it will go. As long as we are here, we do our duties, but at the same time, we have to prepare ourselves psychologically to exit from this world because we don't know when death comes to us. If you are attached too much to the body, and it will be a terrible shock, not only to your body, to any other individual's body, that will bring you terrible suffering. Because we have to know, we have to be aware that everything in this world is impermanent, constantly changing. Death alone is real. Everything is rushing towards annihilation, as it were. That annihilation is death. Everything rushing towards that. So there cannot be anything, any permanency here. And so, because nothing is permanent, we have to seek that which is eternal. Only consciousness is eternal because it's not composed. It's not an aggregate of parts. So that is eternal, that is God, that is truth. Now where is that? It is in our own being, because that drop of consciousness, one drop actually. The Lord is the infinite ocean, but one drop is actually separated from that infinite ocean, as it were. That's what all the living beings are like. All the living beings are different drops from that infinite ocean. So because we are made in the same, there is no difference in kind as such, and we can merge back into that ocean. So that's what our philosophers talked about, saying that Jivatma merges with the Paramatman. The individual soul actually unites with the universal soul. So this part, this fragmented thing, will become one with the infinite. So from this limited upadhi-based, upadhi-centered existence to that existence which is free from upadhi, that is actually our journey, that is our goal. That is a giant leap actually from this tiny body-based, mind-based existence to that spirit-based existence, that merging into consciousness is a giant leap. Not many are psychologically prepared to do that. That is the only problem. So as you deepen your dispassion, knowing full well that this world is always imperfect, it can never be made perfect. By nature, by design, it is imperfect, because it is changing, because it is rushing towards annihilation. And the individuals prepare themselves, they develop total dispassion. And once you develop that total dispassion, including to these two upadhis, namely the body and mind, you will get God. And to know God, and that is actually our privilege. That's our birthright. So that is the beauty of this species of life. You have come here to know the truth. And people like Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, absolutely there, no doubt, this is the way, this is the path. Human life is meant for that. And all their energies and on time, they invested in that direction. That's why they have become Mahatmas. That's why we worship them, right? They have known the truth. We also want to know the truth. Otherwise, why would we worship them, right? We also have the desire. How strong your desire is to know the truth. Can you strengthen the desire further? Can you at least, long for it, in the sense that may my desire to know the truth be stronger and stronger every day? See, the ultimate prayer that we can say is, we may not know the truth with our own strength, because we say, our Rishis have said that when God's grace descends upon it, what is actually, what difficulty or what a big thing it is for the Lord, that infinite Lord, to give liberation to one human being. There's nothing. And Sri Ramakrishna used to say, God is like small child, whom he will liberate. And not that there may be somebody who has done a lot of tapasya. God may not give. God will ask him to wait for some more time, wait for some time. And somebody who has not done any tapasya, sometimes actually. So he's like a small child. Okay, you take this mukti, he will give it like that. So he says, Hata Siddha you may become. So just the easiest way is, you pray to God. See, what is for you, O Lord, actually, to liberate a small, tiny being like me. Help me actually, liberate me. And you seek it. Shower thy grace upon me and liberate me. No, we don't know. If your prayer is intense and sincere, he will shower his grace upon you and liberate you. Take you beyond the world of Maya, world of name and form. Otherwise, this world, which is Maya, Sri Ramakrishna would put it actually, world bewitching Maya. And to know that it's Maya itself, it takes so much of time for people. To know that actually it is only a trap, it is only a snare, it's a kind of entanglement. The soul is already entangled deeply. This is body and mind we have got, means we are in bondage. And to seek that freedom consciously is the goal, is the blessing. So today's topic is God and ghost in the same house. And to explain through an analogy, we all have temples, we go to temples. In temple, there will be a pujari who does puja, the deity. Most of the temples it happens. So the pujari, as every day he does puja, it becomes mechanical for him. The bhava will miss. Ting, 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 something he will utter in Sanskrit. But all his attention will be on the devotees who will be who are coming, and what gifts and what things they are bringing to the Lord. His concentration and attention will be only more on that, and not on the Lord as such. That is how our ego behaves. Our ahankara behaves exactly like that. Right? Ahankara is a pujari. It is supposed to worship the Lord dwelling in the heart. But it exactly does the opposite. What it does is always interested in the things of the world. Okay? Objects of the world. It wants to enjoy the objects of the world. What this pujari is supposed to do in this temple of God? This is the temple of God. There is God here. And there is also a pujari. Ahankara is a pujari. Pujari is supposed to worship the deity. Okay? Dwelling in the Garbha Mandira, Garbha Gruha of your own heart. But you just see, that is our struggle as sadhakas. We want to concentrate and focus on God dwelling in our heart. How many minutes will we be able to focus? For just a few minutes, then mind has gone somewhere. To some object, to something, it grabs, you give me that, get me that, give me that, get me that. What you are supposed to do, you are pujari, you are created, you are appointed for that purpose, supposed to worship the Lord, concentrate on Him. It doesn't concentrate. At least repeat His name for some time. It doesn't. It goes. It wants the things from the world. Just like that. Ungrateful pujari, ungrateful priest. That's the problem. So you have to cajole this pujari of ahankara. Okay? Again and again you have to ask it. It runs after the things of the world. No. Come back and meditate. Worship the Lord dwelling in the heart, dwelling in this cave. You come back and come back and come back. So every time it goes out, you have to bring it out. That is actually the spiritual sadhana. The vasanas or samskaras of previous birth, they are so strong with all of us, and they drag our consciousness out as it were. So we have to turn the attention inward. For that, effort is required. After some time, slowly the mind understands that this individual is not going to leave me. He has or she has understood my trick. And so he or she has understood that I am treacherous. I keep cheating and deceiving. I can't cheat him or deceive him anymore. And that is the stage, the point at which it just merges into the consciousness. It goes back to its root. It goes back to its source. Once that ahankara is dissolved, it is enlightenment. It is nirvana. It is kaivalya. It is moksha. It is mukti. It is liberation. And after that, you are a blessing to mankind. After that, you are a blessing to mankind. Whoever has attained to that state of freedom, that state of blessedness, okay, he or she will become a blessing to mankind. And they will always talk about God and truth only, like Ramana Maharshi, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. After attaining enlightenment, what they did, for example, Sri Ramakrishna, he would only talk about God and God and God, nothing else. No other topic would interest him. No other topic. Whoever goes, he would talk about God only. Okay? So, absolutely won't be interested in anything worldly because everything else is Maya. Only God is real. Everything else is unreal. So, everything that exists in this world is God. All is God. All is not God. Both statements are right. All is God, why? Because what else can exist? What else can exist? Are you not God already? This body is God because it's part of consciousness. This mind is also God. And the consciousness that is animating these two upadhis also is God. Absolutely. There is nothing other than God. There can be nothing other than God. Everything in this universe is already God. All is God, is right. All is not God. That statement is also correct. If everything is God, then where is the struggle to know the truth? Who has to struggle? For whom? Right? If all is not God, then where is the difference? There is a difference. Vyavaharika, they say. You know, Advaitins say that everything only consciousness. There is a branch, there is a school in Advaita philosophy which is called Kevala Advaitins. They don't actually recognize mind and the projection of the mind, which is this universe. Because mind is unreal, the projection, namely this universe, is also unreal. So they don't give any cognizance to it. They don't take any experience of the mind is false, because mind itself is false. Whether it's a painful or pleasurable, both the experiences are wrong, because the mind itself is false, is fictitious. So any experience born of the fictitious entity must be only false. So from that highest state of Advaita, they keep denying it. Last week we were studying this Srimad Bhagavatam, Saturday class. There actually one statement comes in the Bhagavatam that Sukha Dukkha both are products of Ahankara, and statement is there. I just quoted. Knowing that, yogi actually become indifferent to both the experiences. But our problem is if Sukha comes as we take it, we consume it. Okay? We are so happy about it. And Dukkha comes, again, the dejection comes. So once you want Sukha from this world, equal amount of Dukkha also you should prepare yourself for that. As Swamiji says, happiness presents itself before man, wearing the crown of sorrow on its head. So whoever invites happiness in this world invariably have to take misery also in the same measure. Because they are not two separate things, they are obverse and reverse of the same coin. Swamiji beautifully says in his Jnana Yoga talks. So you can't have only pleasure here to the exclusion of pain. It's impossible. It is not there in the design itself. Impossible. It's obverse and reverse of the same coin. You say that only one side of the coin I want. Can you say like that? I want only head, I don't want a tail. But I want a coin. I want only head, I don't want a tail, but I want a coin. Not possible. Once you take coin, it will have both head and tail. Like that, in this universe, when you want sukha, pleasure, dukkha also will come to you in the same measure. So our people, our philosophers wisely have said that if you want to go beyond dukkha, you have to go beyond sukha also. Oh, how can I go beyond sukha? Then life becomes dry. No. Your real state is beyond sukha and dukkha, beyond pain and pleasure. That is bliss. There is no opposite there. That is the immortality. You will not long for anything thereafter. But in this world, when you long for sukha, but we are hoping for, and we think we get it, but we don't get it in the measure that we hope for or expected of. That is the problem, right? Everybody is seeking happiness. Are we getting the happiness that we really crave for? Are we getting it? Everybody is in search. Even the richest man is also doing something. He is struggling to make himself happier. But it's not happening. Everybody in search of happiness, through multiple things, but we are not getting the happiness that we hope for or desire for, because it's not there in the very nature of the scheme. It is not there out. So we get blows. We seek happiness, we get pain. We seek pleasure, but we get pain. So why all these experiences? The nature is suggesting that this is not the way, this is not the way, this is not the way. So after multiple blows, for multiple number of lives, after multiple experiences, you understand that in this world there is mixture. It's always a mixture, pain and pleasure. If I have to go for pleasure, I will have to take pain also in equal measure. And then what you do? You turn your attention inward. I need to go beyond. And then you look inward. What is the source of pain and pleasure? You will discover that it is the mind which is the source of pain and pleasure. And then the question arises in your mind. So what is mind? Then you will find and discover for yourself that it is based on ego sense. It is based on desire. And then like Buddha, you want to conquer desire and see what happens. You become successful in that attempt, you will be in nirvana. And afterwards, after you attain nirvana, you will not go to somebody and ask, what is God and where is God and what is the purpose of existence. All your doubts are cut asunder. Thereafter, you will not have any doubt with regard to your existence. You are illumined, you are enlightened. You have complete knowledge now with yourself. Why God has created, what is my connection with the Creator, why there is suffering in the world. No question, all questions are answered. You are Sarvajna now, you are omniscient, you are all-knowing. But all our knowledge that we consider knowledge, textbook reading, this and that, this qualification, that qualification, this is maybe for, say, livelihood. Maybe useful for livelihood, to get a job, to get little employment. But that is not samagra jnana. That's not actually the real knowledge. If you want samagra jnana, comprehensive knowledge, if you really want to become omniscient, you should know yourself. Buddha had known it. That's why we worship and revere. What path he adopted, how did he approach the truth? We all know it. What he did. How did Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa approach truth? How Vivekananda did it, how Ramakrishna Paramahamsa did it. There are so many sages. How did they? We all know that. We only have to walk in the path that they have shown us. and we will also get the truth. But unfortunately today, we are all ambitious only on one plane, this material plane. There are very few people who are really ambitious on spiritual plane. When we talk about ambition, we all know only one kind of ambition, that is to make more money, to make more wealth, or to attain positions of power. Ambition in the worldly plane, that's called. And for example, you see a person like Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, intensely ambitious, but on a completely different plane. For Vivekananda also, during his childhood, two dreams used to come. One dream that he would imagine himself. The dream was that he would become a king. He would sit on a throne, and mighty empire he would be ruling over. And another dream, he became a sannyasi, a mendicant. Both dreams. He used to get it too frequently in his mind. And ultimately he decided, what? One is this, I had become a king of a mighty empire. And another dream would be of that, where he had become a mendicant, sannyasi. So, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was intensely ambitious on a spiritual plane. His ambition was so strong. In this birth, I must know the truth, or I should die in the attempt. Either I must know the truth, or I must die in the attempt. So ultimately, Divine Mother appeared before him, because Saguna Sakara, he actually worshipped, and then after experiencing, it is all homogeneous consciousness for him. My mother is everywhere there, not that she is there just in the image, where she is not there. That means that Advaitic experience, that Brahman is all providing. Afterwards, then he went about talking God, and so through so many parables, Vedanta is simplified. And of course, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is the best text on Vedanta. So many parables he would give to explain the abstract and very abstruse truths of Vedanta. And if you don't understand Vedanta by reading Gospel, and you won't understand it by reading any other scripture, that is another blessing for the people of this age. Such beautiful parables he would use to explain very abstract philosophical concepts, and so easy for a common man also can understand. It has always been the attempt of our sages and rishis, irrespective of your financial position in this material world. Everybody should be able to seek the truth, should be able to understand it intellectually, conceptually. And that's why actually it's not just, Upanishadic philosophy, afterwards through Puranas and through so many other texts, they have tried and tried. How many examples Sri Ramakrishna would give? But day-to-day examples. God is like this, God is like this. This is how you need to approach. With one hand, you try to perform your worldly responsibility. With one hand, you try to hold on to God. 100% actually, you anyway, I know that you have practical difficulty because you are in the world, you have some duties and responsibilities, you have to perform them. Okay, I know, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said that, but don't give 100% of the mind to these worldly pursuits, because the body is temporary. When it gets dropped, we don't know. Afterwards, you will repent. And also afterwards, you will find it very difficult to turn inward. So little, just 5 minutes or 10 minutes, little meditation, little prayer. These spiritual practices, everybody should bring into their personal lives. And people say that, I'm busy, I don't get time. And it has become kind of fashion. I really get surprised when they say that. Busy for what and busy with what? Socrates said, a busy life is a barren life. If somebody comes to you tomorrow and offers you the post of Prime Minister of the country, but one condition, that you will have to be busy 18 hours, 20 hours, you reject it. Now, I don't want to take up any engagement which keeps me busy for 20 hours a day, 80 hours a day, which doesn't allow me time to pray to God, which doesn't allow me time to meditate, which doesn't allow me time to repeat God's name. That kind of calling and occupation, however good and great it may be, I don't want. That's why our people have prefer to become mendicants, beggars, right? Beggar has minimum requirements and minimum needs. And these are the beggars and the mendicants that they have given us the highest knowledge. We are all a paradoxical race. For example, Shirdi temple, I think gold covered now. Sai Baba was a fakir. He was during the lifetime of a fakir. And for fakirs, you erect golden temples. What they suggest is, you also become fakir like me, you will get God. But we don't have the courage. You earn money and you put up a golden image of a fakir. That's what we do. And Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa never touched money in his lifetime. But we build a magnificent temple for him. Right? That's, of course, we have Rajas and we have Tamas. That we find it difficult to develop that degree of renunciation. Absolute renunciation is sine qua non to know the truth. But of course, that requires courage. So before that, conviction is required. Conviction you need to have. Then renunciation automatically comes. That's why Viveka Vairagya they talk about. These two beautiful words they use. Viveka and Vairagya. Vairagya comes through Viveka, through discrimination. What is discrimination? Discernment. What is truth? What is permanent? What is impermanent? Is there true happiness in this world? If I am not getting the happiness that I crave for, why I am not getting it? And where should I find it? Where should I seek it? This is discernment. Because buddhi, using buddhi. And when you use that, you automatically develop dispassion and come to the spiritual path. And then life becomes blessed. You may not realize in this birth itself, it doesn't matter. You are rightly resolved. You are rightly resolved. That is the blessing. What I am saying is, otherwise you are the richest man in the world, but you have to work 20 hours a day, and so much you have accumulated to manage those things, and you don't get time for your personal life. Not a great achievement. Not a great achievement. Don't become busy, that's what I am saying. And that should not become an excuse. Why I am not able to do any spiritual sadhana? Why can't I pray? Why can't I meditate? Why can't I repeat God's name? Why can't I read scriptures for at least some few pages from a scriptural text? No, I am so preoccupied. I am such a celebrity. I am so preoccupied. I am too busy. You are saying that you are working against your own interest. You are working against yourself. You don't even know your true interest. That means when you say that I am busy, okay, I have money but I am busy, I can't give time. I am asking you to give time for yourself, for your true being. If you say that I am busy only with these things, you drop them. This is the thing. You don't know what you have in your heart. Khalil Gibran made a great statement. He says, I quoted it many times, but still I repeat it because not many get it in the first attempt, sometimes second attempts and third attempt also. He is the true prince who seeks his throne in the heart of a dervish. I repeat his quote. He is the true prince who seeks his throne in the heart of a dervish. Dervish means yogi, mystic, sadhu, sage. Okay, any word you can use. Why he said that statement? He is the true prince, he said. Become a true prince. That's the way to become a true prince. For example, people like Ramakrishna. So what they coveted, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa coveted the heart of people like Ram Prasad and Kamalakanta. And he would say in one of his prayers, when Divine Mother was not revealing, not coming forward to show herself to him, you have revealed yourself to Kamalakanta and Ram Prasad, but you are not actually showing yourself to me. You are not giving me any vision of your being to me. What I have done? Why you make me such an unfortunate child? So he would implore, he would ask again and again. You know what happened actually. Still mother did not come. That means what? I did not long as much as they longed for you. Probably that was the reason. But I have exhausted myself. I can't long anymore. I can't pray to you anymore. I can't do any other sadhana. I have exhausted all my resources, energies. And that is the point of time he thought actually this life is useless. Mother is tarrying, she is delaying. Okay? I have exhausted all my energies and capacities. How much she expects me to long for? How much more I can long for? What more intensity I can do? No, it's not possible. I have done with myself. Then he took up that sword and then this body. That's the time the mother appeared. So he tested and tested. Thus, yes, truly exhausted. When you do the sadhana also, when you exhaust all your energies, there will come a time then that time you will feel that, this life is waste without the realization of God. But we have so much of capacity. so much of time, so much of intelligence, till to invest in that direction. Okay, to do sadhana, every one of us has that capacity. Are we making good use of that capacity? Have we really exhausted ourselves in spiritual sadhana? No. That's why you will not get the experience. You will not get God. You may say that I have exhausted myself. There are some brahmacharis sometime back when I joined in 97, 88. And 3 days they would weep and they would weep and weep. And Ramakrishna said that you weep for 3 days, God will come. But their actually weeping is not because of deep bhava for God actually. It is emotional weakness. For some people tears just come like that. No bhava, but just start weeping. And you think actually Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said that God should appear before you. No, this is actually empty emotion. It doesn't come like that. So, wait actually, purify your antakarana, don't be that I can become emotional. When you do the real sadhana, then you really exhausted yourself, then definitely God will come. So, we all know actually in our civilization, basically, the core values of our civilization, we as a generation, we have forgotten that. That's why in Indian society, I always tell this, in a kind of confusion. Our policy makers also in a kind of confusion. When we understand today conquest means achieving something big in life, as I already said that, making huge amounts of money or acquiring properties or attaining a position of power or attaining something which gives brings you a lot of name and fame and popularity. This is the longing of a vast majority of population. We all know the story of Alexander the Great. When he came to the borders of India, there he encounters a yogi by name Dandamis. Alexander was tutored by his guru Aristotle. Socrates tutored Plato, Plato tutored Aristotle, Aristotle tutored Alexander the Great. Alexander's father, Peter, wanted his son to be tutored by the best teachers of the day, and then he found Aristotle. So he entrusts Alexander to Aristotle. And Aristotle tried to teach philosophy to Alexander, but Alexander was not that receptive. Probably he was about 14, 15, 16, 17. You know why he was not that receptive? Already his ambition in life, goal in life, already it was implanted in his mind by none other than his own mother. His mother, Olympia, she had a desire. What was her desire? She wanted her son to become the monarch of this world. To become the monarch of this world, the entire universe. She felt dissatisfied with her husband's kingdom, which was a small petty kingdom, the Macedonian, North Greece, present, Serbia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, a small, tiny kingdom. She was not happy with that. But the child who would be born of me should become the ruler of the world, entire world. So when Alexander was in her womb, she prayed to that Greek god Zeus for a child who would become the sovereign of the entire world. She prayed and prayed with all her sincerity, and she had begotten Alexander. By 15, 16, he learnt, all, this using weapons. He was very brave. And Aristotle tried to put philosophy, and Alexander said he's about his goal and ambition in life. Aristotle tried his best to remove that kind of ambition in his mind. There is another way to conquer. Like, you become enlightened and then you embrace the whole humanity. Aristotle wanted that conquest as a real conquest. He wanted to put that idea into the mind of Alexander, but he did not succeed. Who? Aristotle. Then he understood that because the desire in him was planted when he was growing in the womb of the mother herself, and now he cannot remove that desire. By 19, he set out to conquer the world. Young man, as a young 19. What was his ambition in life? To conquer the world. Aristotle reasoned with him. See, means are as important as the end. You want to become the sovereign of the universe. By what means? Through wars. If you really want to become the sovereign, monarch, in a physical sense, you want to become the king of the world, you have to fight battles. Through battles, what you will achieve? Because you will have to kill people in the process, and a lot of bloodshed will happen automatically. But he told him that is not the way to conquer the world. but that won't go into the mind of Alexander. See, Vivekananda also, Swamiji also said in one of his letters, Alexander was not a vulgar conqueror. He uses the word, not a vulgar conqueror. Not that he had only materialistic ambition. There was actually that philosophical ambition behind, where he wanted to civilize the entire world. So the Greeks of that time, only they were the real actually civilized human beings. Only they had philosophy and they were real civilized human beings. The rest of the world is inhabited by barbarians, uncultured and uncivilized human beings. You need to civilize them. How you do that civilization? First you need political power. Okay? You need to become the king. They should become your subjects. Then you will try to civilize them. You will give civilization to them. Okay? You will give culture to them. You will give spirituality. You will give philosophy. And you will civilize them. That's the idea. But the goal was good. But the method and means implied. First you need to have political power. You need to bring everybody under the control of your suzerainty. For that, you have to fight battles. You are killing people in the process. Then where is the question of civilizing them? It doesn't arise at all. The person, the human being who you want to civilize, you are killing them actually. So the method is not correct. Only India has done that, gently actually civilizing the whole world. It has been doing it for centuries and millennia, but we don't know what role we have played in the evolution of human consciousness. So he comes to the Dandamis because Aristotle told him, in case if you go to India and don't think that that is the country of barbarians, no, there you will find great philosophers, great thinkers. When you come back to Athens, you actually bring a yogi or Indian mystic. So Alexander, after conquering this, Purushottama, after fighting that battle, he was looking for a yogi and Indian mystic because his army told him that we won't fight anymore. They are totally exhausted. You know the army, battle after battle. Where was Athens and where is actually this place, borders of India? So totally exhausted. They said that no, absolutely, we won't go one step further actually to wage another battle. And Alexander understood the pulse of them. And he also, after actually meeting this yogi Dandamis, he also developed total dispassion. What kind of dispassion? What kind of conversation that happened that is there in YouTube? You can just see, it's web you can search. Alexander's conversation with Dandamis. So Alexander sends his guards to Dandamis because when people told that he is a mystic and he is a yogi, he is a Mahatma. That was the language that used in those days, and also now in the North he is a Mahatma. Mahatma means yogi, mystic. So he sends his guards with some gifts. Bring that Mahatma to me, bring that mystic to me. So they come to Dandamis and says, see, our king, the sovereign of the universe, now he is the king of the world, sovereign of the universe, wants to see you. Please come with us. If you accept our invitation and come, he will give you gifts, rich presents he will give you. Dandamis said that, why should I come to see your king? If he wants to see me, let him come here. So they go back and report the same thing to Alexander. Now Alexander comes again to Dandamis. And he tells him, okay, mystic actually, Dandamis, you must accompany me to Athens because now I am the sovereign of the universe. You are my subject. Okay, I am the ruler, you are my subject. You ought to do my bidding. I am commanding you, you must follow me to Athens. Then Dandamis said that, why would I follow? I am under nobody. Okay, I am under nobody. Why would I follow you? I am happy here, I am contented. And then he says that your hands are soiled with blood because you have fought so many battles. And Alexander said that if you don't accompany me, you don't come with me, I will kill you. He drew the sword out. Then Dandamis laughs. You can't kill me. You may kill me my body. You may cut my body to pieces, but you can't kill me. First time, Alexander has encountered a person and he said that I will kill you with my sword. Absolutely fearless. Absolute fearlessness he displayed. That's a big joke. I am not the body, I am consciousness. You can kill my body, but you can't kill me. Then Alexander, probably that flashback, appeared what Aristotle was trying to teach. There is a greater way to conquer the world. Here is a man who is not even afraid of death. This is the real conquest. And Dandamis ultimately refuses. There was a beautiful conversation between Alexander, and Alexander surrenders to him. Dandamis refuses to accompany him. And one more yogi actually agreed to accompany Alexander. He was looking for it, another yogi got. And they were going on the way back. He was actually Kalinos. The Greeks called him Kalinos. He was a worshipper of Mother Kali. And that Kalinos also used to call all this Greek army, big generals as Kali, Kali, Kali. He would give the same name to all of them. They are agents of Kali. You know, last talk 2 weeks before, in Saturday talk, we discussed this. Kali means Laya, destruction. They are the destructive aspect of Mother. And in them also you could see God. They are all agents of Mother Kali. So because they were doing destruction, battle after battle, killing, right? Mother Kali, blood, everywhere blood, human kankala. All human skulls are actually, garland of human skulls she hangs around. They are all the agents of Mother Kali. So he would call them Mother Kali, Mother Kali, Kali. So they were going back. In Persia, that Kalinos expressed a desire to give up his body. And they did not understand, the Greek army did not understand what he was up to, what he meant when he says that I want to give up my body. Okay, you see, he said. Kalinos said, okay, you see what I am going to do. So he lighted a fire. And before that, he embraced few Greek army generals, but he did not embrace, because by then he had acquainted himself with all the generals, he had embraced them, but he did not embrace Alexander. To Alexander he said, I will meet you in Babylon. He said, I will meet you in Babylon. And he left him there. And then he said that I am giving up body. They didn't understand. He lighted a fire. He just walked into the fire and just sat. The fire consumed his body. Absolutely did not move an inch. He just walked into the fire, okay, and just sat there. And that actually second surprise for Alexander. First surprise was Dandamis, the second surprise is this. How come a man will walk into the fire like this and give up this body like this? Then he understood that what his guru was teaching, Aristotle, there's a different way. When you detach yourself from the body, you have conquered everything. Nature you have conquered, that you are established in your God, your true self, where actually death also will not be able to touch you. Then Alexander understood. And he wanted to fall at the feet of his guru, Aristotle, and wanted to learn more philosophy. But then it was too late. As Kalinos said that I will meet you in Babylon, it took almost 1 year for Greek army to travel from Persia to Babylon. And Babylon actually, he got malaria. And ultimately, the great conqueror of the world was conquered by a mosquito. 11 days he ran high fever, and Alexander passed away. But his last desire was this, to go back to Athens, sit at the feet of Aristotle, and learn philosophy. But then it's too late. I think at the age of 32, he passed away. You know, that is the real conquest. India has been showing to the rest of the world. Alexander has shown to the world one kind of conquest. And we, India, through our yogis and sages and mystics, have been showing that there is a greater way to conquer the world. This is the real conquest. And that's why, because we have produced so many sages and saints, Vivekananda would say proudly again and again about this. No other country has produced as many sages as our culture, our country has produced. So our race actually has become the gentlest of all the races because of this. Because we have discovered this ultimate law that all life is one. It's the same divine actually that connects all of us, same divine that's manifesting through all life forms. So when it comes to the question of interacting with the fellow life forms, we have been the gentlest among all the races, among all the nationalities. And that's actually our pride. This much for today. We shall stop here. Next week onwards, Sunday talk will be again on. Maharaj will come. Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja Govindam. Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. We shall meditate for 2 minutes before we disperse.
तव श्रीपाद भव पुष्पद वारेयथा
छंद भगत वृंद आरती तुम्हार, जय जय आरती तुम्हार, हर हर आरती तुम्हार, शिव शिव आरती तुम्हार।
ॐ ह्रीं ऋतं त्वमचलो गुणजेद्गुणेभ्यः नक्तं दिवं सकरुणं पादपद्मं मोहङ्कषं बहुकृतं न भजे यतोऽहं तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो भक्तिर्भगाश्च भजनं भवभेदकारे गच्छन्त्यलं सुविपुलं गमनाय तत्त्वं वक्त्रोद्धृतोऽपि हृदये न च भाति किञ्चित् तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो तेजस्तरन्ति तरसा त्वयि तृप्ता तृष्णा रागे कृते ऋतपथे त्वयि रामकृष्णे मर्त्यामृतं तव पदं मरणोर्मिनाशं तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो कृत्यं करोति कलुषं कुहकान्तकारे श्नान्तं शिवं सुविमलं तव नाम नाथ यस्मादहं त्वशरणो जगदेका गम्या तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्म स्वरूपिणे अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। सर्वमङ्गला माङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। सृष्टि स्थिति विनाशानां शक्ति भूते सनातनी गुणाश्रये गुणामाये नारायणी नमोस्तुते। शरणागता दीनार्ता परित्राण परायणे सर्वस्यार्थे हरे देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। जय नारायणी नमोस्तुते। जय नारायणी नमोस्तुते। जय नारायणी नमोस्तुते। जय नारायणी नमोस्तुते। प्रकृतिं परमाम् अभयां वरदां नररूपधरां जनतापहरां शरणागतसेवकतोषकरीं प्रणमामि परां जननीं जगतां गुणहीनसुतान् अपराधयुतान् कृपयाद्य समुद्धर मोहगतान् तरणीं भवसागरपारकरीं प्रणमामि परां जननीं जगतां विषयं कुसुमं परिहृत्य सदा चरणामृहामृतशान्तिसुधां पिबभृङ्गमनो भवरोगहरां प्रणमामि परां जननीं जगतां गुरुमहादेवी सुतेषु प्रणतेषु च चरणाश्रयदानेन कृपामयि नमोऽस्तुते। लज्जापटावृते नित्यं शारदे ज्ञानदायिके पापेभ्यो नः सदा रक्ष कृपामयि नमोऽस्तुते। रामकृष्णगतप्राणां तन्नाम श्रवणप्रियां तद्भावरञ्जिताकारां प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। पवित्रं चरितं यस्याः पवित्रं जीवनं तथा पवित्रता स्वरूपिण्यै तस्यै कुर्मो नमो नमः। देवीं प्रसन्नां प्रणतातिहन्त्रीं योगीन्द्रपूज्यां युगधर्मपात्रीं तां शारदां भक्तिविज्ञानदात्रीं दया स्वरूपां प्रणमामि नित्यं। स्नेहेन बध्नासि मानोऽस्मदीयं दोषान् शेषान् सगुणीकरोषि आहेतुनानोदयसे सदोषान् स्वाङ्के गृहीत्वा यदिदं विचित्रम्। प्रसीद मातर्विनयेन याचे नित्यं भव स्नेहवती सुतेषु प्रेमैकबिन्दुं चिरदग्धचित्ते विषिञ्च चित्तं कुरु न सुशान्तम्। जननीं शारदां देवी रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोः श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः।
పేజ్ 10 10. जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। एकदंत दयावंत चार भुजधारी, एकदंत दयावंत चार भुजधारी, माथे पर तिलक शोभे मूषिक सवारी, माथे पर तिलक शोभे मूषिक सवारी। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। पान चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा, पान चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा। भगवन का भोग लगे संत करे सेवा, भगवन का भोग लगे संत करे सेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। अंधे को आँख देते कोडिनों को काया, अंधे को आँख देते कोडिन को काया। वांझन को पुत्र देते निर्धन को माया, वांझन को पुत्र देते निर्धन को माया। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। श्याम सुर शरण आए सफल कीजे सेवा, श्याम सुर शरण आए सफल कीजे सेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। পেজ 68 আরো অ্যানিমেটি। সদানন্দ ময়ী কালী মহাকালের মনমোহিনী, সদানন্দ ময়ী কালী মহাকালের মনমোহিনী, সদানন্দ ময়ী কালী মহাকালের মনমোহিনী, সদানন্দ ময়ী কালী মহাকালের মনমোহিনী। তুমি আপনি নাচো আপনি গাও মা, আপনি নাচো আপনি গাও মা, আপনি দাও মা করতালি। তুমি আপনি নাচো আপনি দাও মা, আপনি নাচো আপনি গাও মা, আপনি দাও মা করতালি। সদানন্দ ময়ী কালী মহাকালের মনমোহিনী, সদানন্দ ময়ী কালী। আদিভূতা সনাতনী শূন্যরূপা শশীভানি, আদিভূতা সনাতনী শূন্যরূপা শশীভানি। ব্রহ্মাণ্ড ছিল না যখন, ব্রহ্মাণ্ড ছিল না যখন, মুন্ডমালা কোথায় পেলি? ব্রহ্মাণ্ড ছিল না যখন, মুন্ডমালা কোথায় পেলি? সদানন্দ ময়ী কালী মহাকালের মনমোহিনী, সদানন্দ ময়ী কালী। সবে মাত্র তুমি যন্ত্রী, আমরা তোমার তন্ত্রে চলি। সবে মাত্র তুমি যন্ত্রী, আমরা তোমার তন্ত্রে চলি। যেমনি নাচাও তেমনি নাচি মা, যেমনি নাচাও তেমনি নাচি মা, যেমনি বলো তেমনি বলি। সবে মাত্র তুমি যন্ত্রী, আমরা তোমার তন্ত্রে চলি। সবে মাত্র তুমি যন্ত্রী, আমরা তোমার তন্ত্রে চলি। যেমনি নাচাও তেমনি নাচি মা, যেমনি নাচাও তেমনি নাচি মা, যেমনি বলাও তেমনি বলি। অশান্ত কমলাকান্ত দিয়ে বলে মা গালাগালি, অশান্ত কমলাকান্ত দিয়ে বলে মা গালাগালি। সর্বনাশী ধরে আসি, সর্বনাশী ধরে আসি, ধর্মাধর্ম দুটো খেলি। সর্বনাশী ধরে আসি, ধর্মাধর্ম দুটো খেলি। সদানন্দ ময়ী কালী মহাকালের মনমোহিনী, সদানন্দ ময়ী কালী মহাকালের মনমোহিনী। তুমি আপনি নাচো আপনি গাও মা,
આપની ગામમાં આપની દાવમાં કરો તાલી સદાનંદ મયી કાલી સદાનંદ મયી કાલી સદાનંદ મયી કાલી.
పేజ్ 41
त्रिशूलधरयङ्ग भस्मभूषण व्यालमाला गले विराजे डमरू हर कर बाजे बाजे 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 त्रिशूलधरयङ्ग भस्म भूषण व्यालमाला गले विराजे त्रिशूलधरयङ्ग भस्म भूषण व्यालमाला गले विराजे डमरू हर कर बाजे बाजे डमरू हर कर बाजे बाजे पंचवदन पिनाकधर शिव वृषभवाहन भूतनाथ 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 रुण्ड मुण्ड गणे विराजित रुण्ड मुण्ड गणे विराजित अजर अमर दिगंबर हे रुण्ड मुण्ड गणे विराजित रुण्ड मुण्ड गणे विराजित अजर अमर दिगंबर हे डमरू हर कर बाजे बाजे 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 त्रिशूलधरयङ्ग भस्मभूषण व्यालमाला गणे विराजे त्रिशूलधरयङ्ग भस्मभूषण व्यालमाला गणे विराजे डमरू
పేజ్ 115 1 1 5. బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమతలో మత్తిల చుండవే ఓ మనసా.
బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తలో మత్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా.
బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమతలో మత్తిల చుండవే ఓ మనసా.
బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తలో మత్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా.
భూమిపై దొరలుచు
పొరలుచు నేర్చుచు భూమిపై దొరలుచు పొరలుచు నేర్చుచు హరిని భజింపవే ఓ మనసా. భూమిపై దొరలుచు పొరలుచు నేర్చుచు హరిని భజింపవే ఓ మనసా. బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తలో మత్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా. బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తలో మత్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా. ఆకాశమంతయు నీ గర్జనలచి మార్మోగింపవే ఓ మనసా. ఆకాశమంతయు నీ గర్జనలచి మార్మోగింపవే ఓ మనసా.
చేతులెత్తుచు హరిని పాడుచు
చేతులెత్తుచు హరిని
పాడుచు నృత్యము
చేయవే ఓ మనసా.
చేతులెత్తుచు హరిని పాడుచు నృత్యము చేయవే ఓ మనసా.
బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తలో మత్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా. బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తలో మత్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా. మధురమైన ఆ మాధవు నామము మనుజులకీయవే ఓ మనసా. మధురమైన ఆ మాధవు నామము మనుజులకీయవే ఓ మనసా.
పగలు రాత్రి
ఆ పరమానందము పగలు రాత్రి ఆ
పరమానందం నందు నీదవే ఓ మనసా.
పగలు రాత్రి ఆ
పరమానందము
నందు నీదవే ఓ మనసా.
బ్రహ్మానందపు
మధుమత్తలో మత్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా.
బ్రహ్మానందపు
మధుమత్తలో మత్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా. హరి ప్రేమామృతమందు మునుగుచు ఖండన సేయవే కామమును. హరి ప్రేమామృతమందు మునుగుచు ఖండన సేయవే కామమును.
దాని చేతని జీవితమంతయో
దాని చేతని
జీవితమంతయో ధన్యతగాంచునే
ఓ మనసా. దాని చేతని
జీవితమంతయో
ధన్యతగాంచునే ఓ మనసా.
బ్రహ్మానందపు
మధుమత్తలో
మత్తిలో చుండవే
ఓ మనసా. బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తలో
మత్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా. భూమిపోయి దొరలుచు
దొరలుచు నేర్చుచు భూమిపై దొరలుచు
పొరలుచు నేర్చుచు హరిని భజింపవే
ఓ మనసా.
భూమిపై దొరలుచు పొరలుచు నేర్చుచు
హరిని భజింపవే ఓ మనసా.
బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తలో మత్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా. బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తలో మత్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా.
ఆకాశమంతయు నీ గర్జనలచే మార్మోగింపవే ఓ మనసా. ఆకాశమంత ఉండవే ఓ మనసా
చేతులెత్తుచు హరిని పాడుచు చేతులెత్తుచు హరిని పాడుచు నృత్యము చేయవే ఓ మనసా చేతులెత్తుచు హరిని పాడుచు నృత్యము చేయవే ఓ మనసా
బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తతలో భక్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తతలో భక్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా మధురమైన మాధవు నామం మనుజులకీయవే ఓ మనసా మధురమైన మాధవు నామం మనుజులకీయవే ఓ మనసా
పగలు రాత్రియా పరమానందము పగలు రాత్రియా పరమానందము నందు నీదవే ఓ మనసా పగలు రాత్రియా పరమానందం నందు నీదవే
ఓ మనసా బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తతలో భక్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తతలో భక్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా హరి ప్రేమామృతమందు మునుగుచు ఖండన చేయవే కామమును హరి ప్రేమామృతమందు మునుగుచు ఖండన చేయవే కామమును
దాని చేతని
జీవితమంతయు దాని చేతని జీవితమంతయు
ధన్యతగాంచుని ఓ మనసా
దాని చేతని జీవితమంతయు ధన్యతగాంచుని ఓ మనసా బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తతలో భక్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా బ్రహ్మానందపు మధుమత్తతలో భక్తిలో చుండవే ఓ మనసా బ్రహ్మానందపు
మధుమత్తతలో మత్తిలో
చుండవే ఓ మనసా
పేజ్ 245 245
स्वागतं स्वागतं श्रीरामकृष्ण स्वागतं 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 श्रीरामकृष्ण स्वागतं 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 श्रीरामकृष्ण सुस्वागतं स्वागतं
अज्ञाननाशक सुस्वागतम्
अज्ञाननाशक सुस्वागतम् अज्ञाननाशक सुस्वागतम् अखण्ड तेजा सुस्वागतम् अखण्ड तेजा सुस्वागतम् अखण्ड तेजा सुस्वागतम् अखण्ड तेजा सुस्वागतम् अद्भुत चरिता सुस्वागतम् अद्भुत चरिता सुस्वागतम् अद्भुत चरिता सुस्वागतम्
अद्भुत चरिता
सुस्वागतम् अनन्तरूपा सुस्वागतम् अनन्तरूपा सुस्वागतम् स्वागतम् स्वागतम् श्रीरामकृष्ण सुस्वागतम् स्वागतम् स्वागतम् श्रीरामकृष्ण सुस्वागतम् स्वागतम् स्वागतम् मामात शारद सुस्वागतम् स्वागतम्
स्वागतम् मामाता शारद सुस्वागतम्
प्रणवस्वरूपा सुस्वागतम्
प्रणवस्वरूपा सुस्वागतम्
प्रणवस्वरूपा सुस्वागतम्
प्रणवस्वरूपा सुस्वागतम्
हृदय निवासा सुस्वागतम् हृदय निवासा सुस्वागतम् हृदय निवासा सुस्वागतम्
हृदय निवासा सुस्वागतम्
ओ सत्यपाला सुस्वागतम् ओ सत्यपाला सुस्वागतम् ओ सत्यपाला सुस्वागतम् ओ सत्यपाला सुस्वागतम् हे दीनबन्धो सुस्वागतम् हे दीनबन्धो सुस्वागतम् हे दीनबन्धो सुस्वागतम् हे दीनबन्धो सुस्वागतम् स्वागतम् स्वागतम् श्रीरामकृष्ण सुस्वागतम् स्वागतम् स्वागतम् श्रीरामकृष्ण सुस्वागतम् स्वागतम् स्वागतम् मामात शारद सुस्वागतम् स्वागतम् स्वागतम् मामात शारद सुस्वागतम् श्रीरामकृष्ण सुस्वागतम् श्रीरामकृष्ण सुस्वागतम् श्रीरामकृष्ण सुस्वागतम् श्रीरामकृष्ण सुस्वागतम् పేజ్ 292 292. జగజ్జనని మా శారద మాత, విశ్వానికి నువ్వు ఆధారం. 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 ప్రసన్న వదనా నిన్ను చేరితిని, ప్రసన్న వదనా నిన్ను చేరితిని. దాటించవా భవసాగరం, దాటించవా భవసాగరం, దాటించవా భవసాగరం. జగజ్జనని మా శారద మాత, విశ్వానికి నువ్వు ఆధారం. జన్మ జన్మలుగా నిరీక్షించితిని నీ గుడి ముంగిట అమ్మా. 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 దయామయి అని అందరందురు, దయామయి అని అందరందురు, దయామయి అని అందరందురు, దయామయి అని అందరందురు. అమ్మా నీ దరి చేర్చుకో, అమ్మా నీ దరి చేర్చుకో, అమ్మా నీ దరి చేర్చుకో. జగజ్జనని మా శారద మాత, విశ్వానికి నువ్వు ఆధారం. తెలిసి తెలియక గడిపితి కాలం, అలసటే జీవితమంతా. 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 కన్న తల్లివని నీ దరి చేర్చుకో అమ్మా నీ దరి చేర్చుకో అమ్మా నీ దరి చేర్చుకో జగజ్జనని మా శారద మాత విశ్వానికి నువ్వు ఆధారం అనాథుడను నా ఆర్తిని వినవమ్మా వేడితి పదే పదే 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 మహాశక్తివి జగతికి తల్లివి మహాశక్తి జగతికి తల్లివి మహాశక్తివి జగతికి తల్లివి మహాశక్తివి జగతికి తల్లివి అమ్మా నీ దరి చేర్చుకో అమ్మా నీ దరి చేర్చుకో అమ్మా నీ దరి చేర్చుకో అమ్మా నీ దరి చేర్చుకో జగజ్జనని మా శారద మాత విశ్వానికి నువ్వు ఆధారం జగజ్జనని మా శారద మాత విశ్వానికి నువ్వు ఆధారం ప్రసన్న వదన నిన్ను చేరితిని ప్రసన్న వదన నిన్ను చేరితిని దాటించవ భవసాగరం దాటించవ భవసాగరం దాటించవ భవసాగరం జగజ్జనని మా శారద మాత విశ్వానికి నువ్వు ఆధారం విశ్వానికి నువ్వు ఆధారం విశ్వానికి నువ్వు ఆధారం పేజ్ 318 318 जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय जय हे जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय जय हे जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय जय हे जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय जय हे मुमुक्षु शरण्या मोक्ष प्रदायक मुमुक्षु शरण्या मोक्ष प्रदायक मुमुक्षु शरण्या मोक्ष प्रदायक शिवावतारा शिष्य शुभंकर शिवावतारा शिष्य शुभंकर शिवावतारा शिष्य शुभंकर श्रित जनवत्सल जय जय हे 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 जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय जय हे जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय जय विवेक भूषण विज्ञान निलय विवेक भूषण विज्ञान निलय विवेक भूषण विज्ञान निलय विवेक भूषण विज्ञान निलय विवेकानंद जय जय हे 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 श्री रामकृष्ण जय जय हे श्री रामकृष्ण जय जय हे शारदा माता जय जय हे शारदा माता जय जय हे विवेकानंद 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 जय जय हे
Few announcements. Coming Thursday, 29th June is Ekadashi. Ramnam Sankirtan will be there after Aaratrikam. On coming Saturday, 1st July, a national level healthcare conference on role of Ramakrishna mission and healthcare services in raising New India will be conducted from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Vivekananda Auditorium. This program, chief guest, full details of this program are available on the flex notice board in front of the temple. Doctors, medicos and NGO representatives can attend this program. On 3rd July, Monday, Guru Purnima festival will be celebrated in the mud premises in a grand manner. This program consists of several programs: Mangalarati, Japam, Bhajans, Temple Pradakshina, special worship and Homa, Vishnu Sahasranama Parayana, discourses and devotional music and cultural programs, Vedic chanting from 5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Full details of the program are available on the flex notice board in front of the temple, and invitation pamphlets are available at mud book stalls. Devotees can distribute them among your friends and relatives, participate in large numbers and obtain the grace of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. వచ్చే శనివారం జూలై 1వ తేదీ భారతదేశ పునరుజ్జీవనంలో రామకృష్ణ మిషన్ వైద్య సేవల యొక్క పాత్ర అనే అంశంపై వివేకానంద ఆడిటోరియంలో ఉదయం 10 గంటల నుండి సాయంత్రం 4 గంటల వరకు జాతీయ స్థాయి ఆరోగ్య సదస్సు నిర్వహించబడుతుంది. ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి సంబంధించిన పూర్తి వివరాలు దేవాలయం ముందున్న ఫ్లెక్స్ నోటీస్ బోర్డుపై పొందుపరచబడ్డాయి. భక్తులు, వైద్యులు, యువత ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో పాల్గొనవలసిందిగా విజ్ఞప్తి. జూలై 3వ తేదీ సోమవారం నాడు మఠంలో గురు పూర్ణిమ మహోత్సవం వైభవంగా నిర్వహించబడుతుంది. ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో విశేష పూజ, శ్రీరామకృష్ణకి విష్ణు సహస్రనామ పారాయణము, హోమము, ఇంకా భక్తి సంగీతము, సాంస్కృతిక కార్యక్రమాలు, వేద పారాయణము ఇత్యాది అంశాలన్నీ ఉంటాయి. ఉదయం 5:30 నుండి రాత్రి 8 గంటల వరకు ఈ కార్యక్రమాలన్నీ నిర్వహించబడతాయి. ఈ కార్యక్రమాలకు సంబంధించినటువంటి పూర్తి వివరాలు దేవాలయం ముందు ఉన్న ఫ్లెక్స్ నోటీస్ బోర్డుపై పొందుపరచబడ్డాయి. భక్తులు ఆహ్వాన కరపత్రాలు మఠం ఆఫీస్ నుండి పొంది వాటిని మీ బంధుమిత్రాలకు పంచిపెట్టి భగవాన్ శ్రీరామకృష్ణ కృపకు పాత్ర కావాల్సిందిగా విజ్ఞప్తి. After Jayakaram to Holy Trio, devotees can offer pranams to Divyad Adhyaksha Maharaj in the temple basement hall.
जय भगवान श्री रामकृष्ण देव की
जय
जय श्री शारदा माई की
जय
जय स्वामी विवेकानंद महाराज जी की
जय